matter, hot issue. Sir,
Uwi na ako. Thank you. Lunch na ako, guys.
sir, some senators are saying that SP Chiz has more than 13 senators supporting him para sa Senate presidency. Your comment, sir, do you get the same information at do you think may chance pa ito mabago before the opening ng session sa July 28?
Eh, di wow.
What?
Congratulations. Pagka ganun. Ako naman, we're not actively campaigning for leadership position. No? Ako, I'm not actively campaigning. Of course, I'm supporting Senator Tito Soto. And I've worked with him. I was his majority floor leader for 4.5 years. I was a loyal majority floor leader. To him, I would think, no? Up to this day, ang akin lang kasi, let me speak about Senator Soto. So, ang nagugustuhan ko kay Senator Soto, naniniwala siya sa consensus building, katulad ng ginawa ko for my 2 years as Senate President. Nagko-caucus po tayo. Hindi po siya diktador na kung saan sasabihin niya, itong gagawin natin. Kung ayaw nyo, di pagdebatihan natin sa plenaryo. Hindi, ang style po ni Senator Soto, pasok muna tayo sa loob, mag-debate muna tayo doon, so that we don't show very divisive Senate, then we come up with a consensus. And those who do not agree with the consensus can do the vote. No, there will be a vote, there will be an action, a motion on the floor. And yan ang kagustuhan ko sa kanya. So there's always consensus, there's always a caucus. Para at least alam natin yung direksyon ng Senado ng linggong yan or for any issue, no? Very important issues that crop up under the Senate floor. So, with that said, mas gusto ko po ang leadership style ni Senator Tito Soto. And I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot also from Senator Ed Angara, who was my boss before when I entered in 2007. He mentored me. He was also a former Senate President. Diba? So, yan ang turo nila sa akin. Nung kasama ko yung mga statesmen at that time, Senator Joker Arroyo, Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, of course, Senator Frank Drilon. Pag nakikita ko yung leadership style nila, napakaganda eh. I mean, it's discussion-based and also consensus-based, but at the same time, there's no act to suppress your ideas. No, you can bring out your ideas, but at every turn, at every corner of the decision-making process, the integrity of the Senate is always protected. The name of the Senate is always protected as an institution. Yan ang maganda. Hindi pwedeng, bahala na. Basta gagawin natin to. Bahala na, magalit yung taong bayan sa atin. Hindi pwede.
But some of your colleagues are saying na mas maganda daw yung open discussion, mas transparent. Nakikita doon ng public paano pinagtatalunan yung...
That's fine. They can do open discussions. Sabi na ibang colleagues ko, mas maganda, doon kami mag-away-away sa floor. Tingnan nila na yun. 4 kaming veterano dyan. Sige nga, makipagdebate kami sa kanila. Kids, gloves off with me. I'm no longer interested in position. I'm no longer interested in prestige. I'm no longer interested in power. I am only interested in the image of the Senate and how we can leave the Senate behind as a still trusted institution of this country. And to be able to do that, we have to show transparency. Diba? We have to show transparency. We have to show, for example, sa budget, we now have to show transparency. I'm glad nandyan si Senator Ping Lacson. Ayan ang unang sususiyin niya, isa-isa. Talagang makikita natin na yun. Diba? Sabi nila, mawawalan ka ng committee. Bahala na, wala na akong committee. I've been in public service for almost 25 years now. I've been in the minority when I started my first term in Congress as a spice boy. Ako pala yung spice boy, ha? Iba tinuturing ng spice boy, bright boy yun, ha? Hindi spice boy yan. Ako lang yung spice boy sa Senado na lumaban, with due respect to some of my colleagues na natamaan nun, na lumaban sa makapangyarihan nung araw na yun to get the 77 signatures for an impeachment of then President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. I've been a member of the majority. I've also been a majority leader for 3 terms. And I've also become the Senate President. So, for me, committee, okay na yun. Sa inyo na yung mga committees. Wala ako dyan. ang tinitignan ko na lang na yon, ang integridad ng Senado bilang institusyon. And let me say this, ang sakit ng aking dibdib nung isang araw na pakinggan ko under a news program in the afternoon on my way home. Pinag-uusapan nila itong issue ng impeachment. Sikat na announcer po ito sa hapon. Hindi ko na babanggitin ko anong station.
Blind item.
Ang sabi niya, hindi na lang kasi, ang sabi kasi niya, kung ayaw ng mga senador, di mas mabuti pang buwagin na yan, Senado. So I said, God damn it, that is exactly what we don't want to hear bilang senador, na walang saysay ang Senado. Na wala na tayong saysay. Bakit pa? Mas magulo pa nga kayo daw. Sabi, sa simbahan kapon, ano bang nangyari sa inyo? Mas magulo pa kayo sa house. Yan ang dating natin dito na yun. So, I've never heard that in my almost 25 years in public service. You know, for every legislator, ang pangarap nila maging senador. Parang judge yan eh. Parang judge, gusto mo maging Supreme Court.
Associate Justice.
Abogado ka, gusto mo maging Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Yan ang gusto nila. Dahil nakikita nila yung integridad ng Supreme Court. This is the policy-making body, this is the conscience of the nation, di ba? So, the Senate has always been, as I've said, the last bastion of our country, last bastion of democracy for our country. So, parang pag wala na silang pag-asa sa executive, wala na rin silang pag-asa dito sa lower house, akyat tayo sa Senado kasi papakinggan tayo ng senador because we are a mandate of national scope, national in scope, di ba? It's not only local, but it's national in scope. Kaya pag sinasabi na lang buwagin na yung Senado, wala nang saysay yung Senado, napakasakit para sa akin because in my 2 years as Senate President, yan ang inalagaan ko. Kaya inaway ko nga yung People's Initiative. Katakot-takot ang black propaganda sa akin. Di na ako nakatulog. Pag-check up ko, yung aking blood works, pula lahat. Pula lahat. Talagang magna cum laude ako pagdating sa mga resulta ng aking blood test. Dahil nga sa dinidibdib ko nga yung pangyayaring iyon. And of course, we all know, kung natuloy po yung People's Initiative na yan, that fake People's Initiative, then naging inutil ang Senado at baka wala ng Senado na yan. Who would have been a unicameral Congress or a parliamentary system ng namumuno, iilan lamang mga makapangyarihan. Kaya, at that time, when we defeated the fake initiative, People's Initiative, nagpa-SWS at Pulse Asia kami, the Senate was one of its highest ratings. Almost 78% approval rating ng Senate. And then, even my approval rating at the time, which is normally middle ground lang, mataas sa over 60+% yung aking approval rating at that time. Net satisfaction rating. So, dahil tuwan-tuwa yung tao na pinaglaban natin yung institusyon as the last bastion of democracy. Now, I don't know what's going on. No, I really don't know what's going on. So if you ask me, and let me repeat what I said, I'm not satisfied with the leadership of the Senate, with due respect to the Senate President. Maybe there could be improvements to be made to how we're handling the Senate. Right? It's not a matter of position. It's not a matter of committee. Naawa nga ako. RG.
Okay, RG.
Nabanggit kayo dun sa impeachment. I don't know if you've been asked before, ba't kayo bumoto dun sa 18 if you feel that...
Because remanding is just trying to get an answer from them on the issue on constitutionality. You have to remember that I came out on the floor and I said that as far as I'm concerned, hanggang 19 Congress lang ito. Hindi lalabas to ng 20th Congress. Kailangan gawin ulit. That was my position. Now,
Kasi kailangan gawin ulit, kailangan mag-impeach sila ulit sa House.
yeah, because just like legislation, just like committee resolutions and committee reports, at the end of the Congress, tapos na yan. That's my personal position. That's not my legal position. That's my personal position. Whether that is right or not, it's like Tolentino, Senator Tolentino, the majority floor leader, that was his position. So,
Your personal position, kung magkakabotohan, yan ang boto mo.
no, but I'm also in favor of following the process.
Of the
Do you understand? I would not have dismissed it outright. Alam mo yung remanding na yan, sa totoo lang, ang balita sa akin, hindi naman remanding ang pinag-usapan dyan, dismissal yun eh. Kaya nag-away nga si Sen Joel at si Sen Robin. Dahil nabibinig ko si Sen Robin, nabibinig ko napakinggan ko. Hindi, wala sa usapan yan eh. Di ba? So, wala sa usapan. So, ibig sabihin, siguro may pinag-usapan sila. Alam nyo naman, ako, tsaka si Senator Lawrence, tsaka si Senator Binay, kami po ay grupong slap soil. Ano yung slap soil? Di ba? Hampas lupa. At pagkatapos nga naging na kami, dead hungry. Di ba? Patay gutom. Kaya out of the loop kami. So,
Dapat na-dismiss na doon.
Yun ang usapan.
well, I don't know. That was the chismis. Then, of course, and that's why there was a tension there because the group of Senator Bato really was pushing for dismissal. Now, if you ask me, as I mentioned earlier, as a member of then the Spice Boys in the 11th Congress, we were the ones who gathered the signatures of the impeachment of then President Estrada. We gave it then we were able to convince then Speaker of the House, Manuel Villar, to read it during the prayer. Kasi alam namin, magkakagulo because they still had the majority of members that were against the impeachment of the former president. So, nangyari dun, bakbakan, di ba, dinala sa Senado. What did the Senate do? The Senate could have dismissed it at that time and say that was not the proper procedure because there was no motion made on the floor. You read it as a prayer. But did the Senate dismiss it? No, they did not. They heard it. My point is, it's not about my personal opinion if she is guilty or not, the Vice President. Kasi ako, alam mo naman, taga Mindanao ako. Yung tatay ko hindi pumirma sa impeachment as former congressman. And we became heroes for it in Bukidnon. Talagang sa Bukidnon, 99% ng tao dun pro-Sara. So ang punto ko it's not about my personal anymore. It's not about my personal opinion or my personal vote on the matter or my personal feeling, if she's guilty or not. It is the procedure that must be followed. There is precedence. We've had in this Constitution, if I'm not mistaken, since 1987, only two successful impeachments. The third kasi, nag-resign siya. Nag-resign si Merceditas Gutierrez. On these two, it was acted upon by the Senate. So, I'm sorry, wala naman nakalagay sa Constitution, nakalagay din forthwith, di ba? Hindi naman nakalagay doon forthwith unless dismissed by the Senate before actual trial. Wala doon sa Constitution. So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, as you all know, but in my lengthy member as a legislator who has seen both of these impeachment exercises, I think we have to follow through. And then we do a vote. Huwag na kayo matakot. Kung pro-Sara kayo, di bumoto kayo. Against the impeachment, it's a political exercise. But the process has to proceed forward. That's to move forward. So now, that's my position. Kaya, I want to put that on record. Whether I'm pro-Sara or not, I cannot, I have to listen to the evidence that will be presented by them. Of course, I have some biases. I think that it is a witch hunt because they want to remove her from public service para yung iba makaupo at yung iba ay mawawalan ng kandidato na kalaban pagdating sa halalan ng 2028. But I will set that aside. I'll set my bias aside because we have to follow the process. Yan ang proseso ng konstitusyon. It cannot be changed. If we violate that, then we violate our oath of office when we say that we will defend and protect the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. So, definitely, we have to do what is right here.
Proceeding with the trial, formal trial.
Yes, proceed not. Well, at least, let's invite the prosecutors. Tell them, ano ba yung ebidensya ng... Alam mo sa simbahan, Sunday kasi kahapon, sa simbahan na yun lang ako nakakita ng mga 4 na pamilyang lumapit sa akin. Ano bang tinatago ninyo? Ano bang ginagawa ninyo dyan sa Senado? nasisira yung integridad, nasisira ang pangalan ng ating Senado dahil sa wala tayong ginagawa. With due respect, no, to my colleagues on both sides. Ang akin dyan, let's do what we are supposed to be doing under the Constitution. That's our constitutional mandate. And then we make a decision. Panindigan niyo yung decision niyo. Either to impeach or not to impeach, to acquit. So, yan na ang position ko dyan.